afternoon, and welcome to another episode of Old Fiddles New Life. Out on the back porch today, beautiful beginning of summer day. It's June 1st, and I thought I'd come to you and talk to you about a couple of things. In the first place, we just recently made a trip down to Knoxville, Tennessee, to be with my daughter and her family. We've got 7 kids, but we were down there for the graduation of her oldest son. And while we were there, they had a number of presentations at the graduation. One of them was a young woman named Emma. I'm not going to give her a last name. I don't want to. Anyway, whatever. Unbelievable violinist. Unbelievable. She just played one song. And by the way, this is an older guy. I'm not going to call myself an old man because I'm not. But anyway, this is an older guy that's been playing for a lot of years. I love playing fiddle. Just one of my favorite things in all the world to do. But anyway, Emma got up there on stage and played Amazing Grace. And I sat there with tears rolling down my face. It was absolutely gorgeous. No vocals, just the violin. And you could tell this woman, this young woman, high school student, had great familiarity with Celtic music, with embellishments, and that's not the word. It was gorgeous, just gorgeous. And all I could think was, not only has she at a young age really got a grasp of what it is to play a piece of music and make it come alive, make it have emotion to it, and with a Celtic flair. Oh my goodness. It's almost one of those things where you hear people say, as soon as you hear that, so, well, I'm just going to go burn my fiddle now. No, I'm not going to do that. But yeah, that's. I will say this: it drove me to aspire to better things. One of the things I tend to do a lot, I'll get out my sheet of paper of all the songs. I know lots and lots of songs. Most of them just fiddle music, Celtic music, and I'll just play through it in an evening. After hearing her do Amazing Grace, and with such absolute delicacy and emotion and beauty, it made me want to just stop and just maybe do one song in an evening and really work on making sure that my pitch is perfect, my intonation is good, just a phenomenal thing. Yeah. Okay, well, that's number one. That's one of. Let's put it this way. That would be number one thing. Would be on inspiration. And so, if you've got somebody, a particular fiddle player, that. And by the way, there are a number on the internet that are really, really fine Celtic players. Violin or fiddle players. Just go and watch one of those guys or girls. There's some really good young women out there too, and get an inspiration and just determine, what, I want to get better at what I'm doing, and use it as an opportunity to inspire you to really work on maybe one thing at a time instead of a whole bunch of stuff like I've been doing. Another thing. Recently I was thinking about some of the songs that I had written, because back when I was with Maynard's Old Time Fiddlers back in the late 1980s, I wrote a bunch of fiddle music, and I mean a bunch. And one of them became a standard with Maynard's Old Time Fiddlers. Cornhill Morning became a regular thing we did every time we played out at different places. Cornhill Fiddleworks was one of the standards, and So anyway, I've got all these songs that I wrote, and by the way, I not only wrote them in terms of being able to play them, I wrote them on sheet music, and I've got copies of the night that I handed out old Cornhill Fiddleworks. I made a bunch of copies. So I've still got one of the copies that I was handing out that night. But I got to thinking about it. I said, wait a minute, Donegal. My mom and dad have lived on Donegal Circle. Dad's gone now, but they've lived on Donegal Circle on Cape Cod for well, over 50 years now. And I got to thinking, well, Donegal is Donegal, Ireland. You know, that's kind of a good name for a song. So I wrote Donegal, and I got to thinking, oh my goodness, I can't remember the melody to it exactly. And so I wonder if I wonder if I wrote that, if I wrote it out, because if I wrote it out, I'm good to go. I can go and dig it out and go ahead and relearn it and play it, and you know, just kind of be back on top of my game, because I haven't played it in many years. So anyway, I went to my box. So let me show you my box. Okay, this is my box. And it opens, you know, like this, like a little treasure chest. And in here are all my songs that I've written. Many songs. All on sheet music. You know, usually half sheets. Well, it's all on half sheets for the most part. And so I went and looked. And I said, I wonder if I've got Donegal. And I was so relieved. I've got Donegal. I mean, just awesome. That, by the way, that's the original. That's the original pencil on staff, and now this got transposed to be, you know, ink on staff. But anyway, this is how I wrote it out, and I was just so relieved that I still had Donegal, and so I got to playing it the other night, and I'm gonna probably make many attempts at this. You're gonna end up hearing the best one I do, but I was playing on my old German Strad at first, and then I decided, well, I've been giving it a shot and taking out what I call the harbor violin recently, which there was no name in this thing when I got it. This was a school instrument that the students had broken the neck out of many times, and this is it. And I have not used it at all, really, for the most part, because of two things. Number one, it tends to be kind of wimpy, doesn't have the same depth of voice that my old German Strad has. And number two, I don't like the tone very well. But I got to playing Donegal on this, and I said, oh, well, for some reason, Donegal and this old instrument seem to go together in terms of being able to play it. So anyway, let me just I'm going to practice this a few times, and then I'm going to go ahead and play it for you guys, and then I think we may be done. I'm just trying to think if we had anything else we had to go over. Look, this is a short one. This is a short episode of Old Fiddles, New Life, but I wanted to be able to go over this with you and kind of tell you some things. Again, go find a particular player that plays something you like well, and use it as inspiration to start playing, and maybe just pick on one song per night, one melody, one Celtic tune, whatever it is, and just play it and refine it. Because I'll tell you, that's what I heard when I heard Emma play, was refinement. I mean, she was playing in front of hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people there for that graduation. And I'll tell you what, she didn't make a single mistake. It was beautiful. And, just so gorgeous. Okay, the word is embellishment. Couldn't think of it before. You know, it definitely has some Celtic understanding, and used beautiful embellishment. That Amazing Grace never sounded so good on fiddle, I'll tell you that. That was beautiful. Okay, I'm going to play for a while, and I'll come back and we'll do Donegal. And I'm just kind of looking forward to this. Like I said, I got to playing this last night, and this old fiddle, and this is an old one. We'll talk about it sometime. All right, I'll get right back to you. Okay, so I was playing outside and it started sprinkling. So I'm not going to sit on the back porch and have it sprinkling all over my violin, um, and my copy of Donegal and my anyway whatever. So I came inside and I'm going to try it again. Yeah. Besides that, a motorcycle went by down on the road. I'm the preacher's home where I live is uh, up way up on the side of a hill, and down at the lower level of the hill is the church building. And down below of that is Route 4, which goes all the way across the state. So, needless to say, when a motorcycle or semis go by, you hear it. So anyway, I'm gonna try that in here and see if it goes any better than it did out there. And at least we're not going to be interrupted. And I'm hoping my wife doesn't hear me because she's in there taking a nap right now. Let's see, yeah, we're running. Okay, good enough. Uh, and I have not practiced as much since I relearned it. But I'm so grateful. Like I said, if you write out sheet music, find yourself a place. I love my little blue box there because it has become a keepsake, and I always know where it is. It's always in the same place, and I hold all my fiddle tunes in there, valuable documents. When I was a young minister, I worked with a guy named Russ Fowler, and he was an older man than I was at the time. And when he retired, he wrote me a letter, and I value that letter very, very highly. Anyway, that letter is in that box. I mean, that's the kind of thing, and just have a place that you find that you have good stuff, songs, whatever it might be, and just keep it there safely and always know where it is. All right, guys, listen, thank you for coming by Old Fiddles New Life. I hope you've enjoyed this. I'm going to practice it a lot more. I may do Donegal again for you, but that's after just a couple of practices, having just barely relearned it after many, many years. All right, God bless you guys. Have a good one, and we'll catch you next time on Old Fiddles New Life.